everyone. Thank you for joining us. Tonight we are finally at the end. We've made it to the finish line of A Court of Wings and Ruin. Now, this is the third book in the infamous Akatar series. And I say infamous because clearly this book series is a villain and it almost took us out, but we fought through and we're here to tell the tale of Wings and Ruin. Now, I'm not here alone, as you can very well see. I'm joined by my very good friend, my best friend, Danny. Say so. Introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, hey y'all. Happy Friday.
All
We're here to
right.
talk about this goddamn book for the last time.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Oh,
Hallelujah.
happy day. What makes me so mad about this book, right? Now we can really, shed the tea. I get so mad because the way TikTok, book talk hype this goddamn series, you would think this is the best written fiction of all time. I'm and book talk has led me astray before because I read Haunted Adeline and I was disgusted and bored and everything else. This book isn't disgusting, but it is very much tipping the line on the boring side. I would say, in my opinion, this should have been a two-book series. They should have capped it at two, right? But lo and behold, they not even done. This author, what's her name, Sarah J. Maas, she got more in the series, more than I think there's 5 books already out, right? But there's another one coming.
Well, really quickly, let me ask you, because this is
Okay.
what I was wondering too. I didn't realize that the books were so old as
Okay.
well. I think this one was like 2017, 2018.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Do you think the time has any kind of impact on how we are enjoying this book? Like maybe us in 2017, 2018 with a different mindset might have enjoyed this book a little better.
That's a good question.
Right?
For me, I would say no. Maybe high school me. Maybe high school me would
High
eat this
school.
up. Yeah, high school me would eat this up. But
Not even
as far
20s?
no
20s. Come on, 20s.
early 20, like okay, like
We're not that
21,
damn
22.
mature in our 20s. I
I'm
think
not-
I think it's a level of maturity where it's
I-
like, oh, come on. Some of these things aren't realistic. And I like to be like swooned and swept off my feet,
mhm.
but I need a dash of I
Realism.
don't know. I don't want to say a dash of misery or realistic occurrences,
Uh-huh.
but I think at this point I know better that it just doesn't end like that. And there are some things that happen towards the end that we could
Mhm.
touch on where I'm like, really? Okay, so we're all just gonna get a happy ending. Okay.
Are we talking about the spoiler alert mysterious? Not even mysterious. The curious case of the undying Rhysand. That man should have been dead.
Not just Rhysand.
Who else? Who else are we talking about?
And magically pulling back Amryn.
Oh Lord! Yeah, what are the
Come
stakes?
on. Like really? And then her transformation was so lackluster. I thought she was just gonna be this. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
It's yeah. It's a whole bunch of. I can't suspend my disbelief. You know, in indefinitely, right? Like it's. I know it's a fantasy. It's a period piece, if you will. But let's stick to the logic of our own writing. Like if she could just bring people back from the goddamn dead, what's the stakes? How come it wasn't done before? Why is it only her BFS F's live forever? And
And
it's
why
like
she ain't bring back her daddy?
facts. And you know what? When they brought that man back, I said, "Hold on, he about to die," because the whole series practically that man was, AWOL, right?
But not you making him the golden savior after he has literally been MIA. Either he was a broken man with broken legs and all that stuff. we're gonna touch on another thing. We're gonna touch on Tamlin before this is
Don't
over.
you don't you bring up my man Tammy
I
now.
gotta give you your flowers on Tamlin.
Oh,
But
yes.
this man has been MIA the whole goddamn series, and you gonna make him roll in like the White Knight on the
Uh-huh.
ship?
You know what it was
You're
for?
without any kind of inclination that he was up to anything to help them. And we're supposed to just welcome it because he named these 3 raggedy ass ships after his daughters.
Right. The daughters that he hasn't even so much attempted to contact or communicate.
And all of a sudden, Nesta is his favorite? Get the hell out of here.
Listen, when they brought him back and they had this whole, he got an army and he got all of these ships named after, I said, they about to kill this man because ain't no way you just conveniently brought him back from the dead, or not from the dead, but from nowhere. And then like he lasted about a good couple minutes. They brought him back just so you could be like, oh yeah, Dad's back. Oh yeah, he's been thinking about them the whole time. Oh yeah, and then boom, sacrificial lamb.
I at least thought they were going to give him like a nice little speech. They made him talk, but not really. I thought it was going to be more of a, I love you, like it's okay. And it's something like, in that moment, she knew what she had to do. But it wasn't that. It was just, oh, don't you touch her. Dead.
Right. It's just, man, I hate to say it, man. But you did say it's an older book. So, maybe, I don't know if this is her first series or like, everyone gets better with time, right? But it just seems like very conveniently placed writing, like so much so that it didn't make any sense. And I mentioned this during my last review with Stephanie O, that the fact that Farrah barely has any struggle, like she just turned into Faye, but she's so confident in every decision. She never does anything wrong. She doesn't question her anything. It's just always so short. And it just seems like really fake to me. Really fake. I don't, and it continued through this book as well. But there were a couple points that I wanted to touch on. Elaine, I believe that's her name, the baby sister. She went back to see her fiance, and it all went to shit. I was like, okay, interesting, a little turmoil. Got it, love to see it. And then we get this random A reveal of, wait, no, even before the reveal. Hold on, before I'm skipping, because when this happened, it pissed me off. When Farrah disappeared from battle and she went to go fight her own separate thing, didn't tell nobody she was leaving, right? When she returns, everyone's upset, right? Rhysand, Moore, specifically Moore, was very much, felt betrayed, right? Now, when Moore brings it up to Farrah, no. When Moore brings it up to Farrah, like said, yo, you should have told me, like you lied to me, like, honestly, in my opinion, very valid concerns, like, hey, what happened? And instead of living up to it is and with her chest, right, and say, hey, yeah, my bad, I'm sorry. She said, speaking of lies, tried to flip the script on Moore because she couldn't just apologize for the wrongness she did. Like, not you trying to turn the tables or Moore off of some, oh, speaking of lies, you're lying to whatever his name is about your feelings. What has that got to do with anything we talking about?
Thank you. Because this is a life or death situation that I'm mad about. This is the fact that I had to face your mate, who I'm not sure if he would have ripped my head off for losing you. And you gonna bring up my personal business?
Right. My personal love
name, Farrah.
It's apples and oranges. And this is like, she cannot, what does she not know how to say? Yeah, my bad. Is it just because she's never wrong? That's what, she's never wrong. She's fair.
Oh no, of course she's never wrong.
I can't stand this whole
High Lady of the Night Court.
Chick.
Let's talk since we're on the conversation of Moore.
Okay.
Let's talk about, and I might be insensitive. This is just me.
Okay.
That was a whack ass reason for why she's not with Azrael
Shadow
guy. Huh?
Is it Azrael? Is that their name?
Azrael. because she's a lesbian? That's the big reveal?
I feel like
That's the reveal? Who
very.
cares? You are a lesbian, girl. Be a lesbian. You don't even care about your family.
Uh-huh.
You
Mm-hmm.
can wipe them off the map at any moment. You are
Mm-hmm.
this feared, revered creature,
Mm-hmm.
powerful, immortal.
Mm-hmm.
You having a breakdown because you like bitches?
And then not only that,
Make
aren't
it
these aren't these Fae like 500 years old? Why is this like such why is this her coming out the closet moment? You're 500 years old, ma'am. Like,
I wish
ma'am.
I was like all powerful and somebody tried to tell me who I cannot and cannot be with.
Right.
You're dead. You're done. I'm probably a tyrant, which is why I said I'm probably being insensitive because everybody has like their thing, right? They have their
500.
thing that even if you don't understand it, like that's their hang up.
Uh-huh.
Me
Okay.
personally, if I'm as powerful as more, you can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna love on who I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
what I want. And Father, there is nothing you can do about it because your life, your little life right there in the night court, in the nightmare court, is hanging by a thread. And if
Mm.
I tell Rhysand right now to just step on your neck, he
He
would
gonna,
do it.
right. He gonna.
So I didn't quite understand it and I didn't resonate with her. And I felt bad in that moment because that was supposed to be like her moment of having of exposing herself and
Mm-hmm.
being
Mm-hmm.
that. But I just wasn't feeling it because I'm like, you are powerful and that's how your character was built
Mm-hmm.
up this entire time in the series and I just don't see this being the reason for you breaking down. So
Yes.
I'll just wear that insensitive crown.
I don't think it's being insensitive, and I say that not just because in universe this person is 500 years old, and this shouldn't be an issue at 500 years old, right? But also because again, the writing, there was no inkling before. There was no like leading up to this, like any kind of lingering gazes between Moore and a woman, like anything that would lead the reader to even come to this conclusion or like feel as if we're being led to that direction. And then suddenly in the final hour of the book she's like, oh yeah, I'm gay. It just seems very much thrown in, like the father thing was thrown in. It just was like the writer just woke up one day and said, hey, yeah, let me just make her gay, let me just make a character gay. And I'm I told you there's 50 million characters in this book, and when there's too many characters and they all kind of like do similar things, not really much, background as far as like stuff to differentiate them in my mind, it's hard to even like visualize these people. So a lot of my visualization comes from IG posts and AI iterations of these characters, and almost every drawing I've seen of Moore, she was Asian, right? And I'm like, not she trying to fit the minority and the goddamn all multiple minorities into one person. She's trying to make the Asian character gay and then just check off all the boxes in one character.
I thought from
It
what I saw, Amryn was Asian, not
was
more.
more, right?
I think it was Amryn.
See, it's too many
I'm
characters.
pretty
They all
sure
the
it was
same.
Amryn.
They all the same. It's just bad writing. If it was Amryn, then more true to what the hell I was saying about all these characters look alike, sound alike, can't differentiate one from the other because there isn't much time spent to develop them as their own character. It's just this band of thieves, or not thieves, but this band of family, this maid family, and you just throwing a whole bunch of names in a hat, and I can't keep up. But either way, there's not enough to these other characters to kind of differentiate them. Really, it's just a whole bunch of just random shit that doesn't. I don't know. But anyway, if it's more Amryn, either way, bad writing. Because why the hell she's 500 years old just being scared to say that she's gay? Why? We got a comment here. Hold on, let's see. Hi, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Next thing that pissed me off about the book was Miss Badass Farrah in her mind, Miss Bad B, Miss I'm the night, the night queen or whatever. When it's time to get down to business and then get some real wartime in, Jick was scared. She said she pretty much told Rhys, hey, I know that I'm pretty much the reason for this war, but I don't want to be on the battlefield anymore. She literally just told that man that like halfway through the book. And I'm like, hold on, how are you going to just come to this after kind of like this whole war is kind of because of you, right? Because of you and your sisters. And then halfway when the shit really started hitting the fan, she gonna tell Rhysand that it was just so bloody and so scary that she didn't feel that she could be on the battlefield. Now she did switch it up later in the book because she was in the final battle, even though her sister, what Nesta was carrying the bulk of the weight, Miss Barely Trained Nesta. But it just seemed like it's just unlikable. Every decision that this girl makes is so unrelatable and so unrealistic and so unlikable to me. And not only that, I feel like Rhysand's been very much watered down as well. He's not giving anything this book, nothing, not even one tingle or nothing. I'm like, I'm sick of him.
Oh, as far as like the romance?
Yes.
Yeah, it was very rinse and repeat, like romance. I told you the last time that I felt like any kind of like real spark or fire was the scene when they were on the throne.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they were just feeling each other up in front of everybody in the party. That was the last time that I felt it. And I was like, you know what? Everything else has just been like very lackluster.
And it's because I feel like it's because in the earlier book, there was still a little bit of yin and yang to Rhysand. There was multiple layers, differences, variations. But here he's just so one note. Oh, fair, anything for fair. I'm just here to do the right thing. He's giving very much like Scott Summers from X-Men, because like people weren't liking him because he was just so like vanilla. Rhysand is vanilla AF, and it's not sexy.
But you know what? It makes sense because he was written by a woman. So he was going to be uber supportive. He's never going to be mad at anything she does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about her independence.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm here for. I am. But we still can use a little spice, a little fire, a little pushback.
A little realism.
It's okay. A little pushback is okay. Farrah, you were wrong in this.
Right.
Hi, Christopher.
Hello.
You were wrong in this. I don't appreciate that. Communication is important. The same way that everybody holds me accountable as their high lord is the same way they hold you accountable. Same way they dig into my ass when I do something stupid is the same way they're gonna dig in your ass. And that's what Moore tried to do. And what did you do? You threw something very personal and hurtful in her face as her leader. She's one of your subjects, and you did that to her.
In order to avoid accountability. That's what it is.
In order to avoid accountability. Good job, high lady.
Right. I cannot stand her. But speaking of my boy Tammy, you said something about Rhysand, who has been, unjustly villainized by the fandom as a whole.
I still feel that way, but also I'm going to give Tamlin his credit. One, with saving her ass when they went to take back Elaine from the King of Highburn, and that she couldn't fly. And she said this wind came up from her, this wind of spring. And I'm like, spring? Not you saving her.
Yeah, again.
What else did he do? He did something else that was like so clutch. He did like 3 clutch things in this, and I can't even remember. But the last thing that he did was give that little power to Rhysand. And was like, the only thing I want from you is to be happy, bitch.
He should listen. I don't know why.
Come on.
I feel so bad for him. And then it was only after Tamlin continued to do things for her that she finally gave him his flowers a little bit, talking about, I wonder if Nesta knows that the whole reason why we have this mansion is because of Tamlin. I'm like, oh, now you want to give him some kind of credit.
That's what it was. If it wasn't for Tamlin helping your raggedy ass father in the beginning,
Mhm.
he wouldn't have been able to sail off and go
Yeah, get
get
money
those
for it.
fleets to help
Mhm.
you.
Mhm. See?
So look at him coming through in the end.
That man is a doer, and I love to see it. He had to grow into it. He was scared of Amarantha, whatever her name is,
He still
in
got
book
them
one.
anger issues though, and
Yeah,
that was his
he's had, he
downfall.
has a right to be upset. I'm going to die on this hill. He has a right to be upset,
He
and
was upset before she left him.
I wouldn't have did shit for that bitch. Like, I wouldn't have did a goddamn thing for her ass or resent.
Was upset before she
Uh-huh.
left him. Anger issues before.
Because
Locked
she
her
will,
down
I fucking resent.
before.
Because she was, I fucking resent every time chance he turned around. He was like, hold on, wait. Every time I turn around, you talk about some fucking resent. He has a right to be mad.
Well, now we'll never know.
Uh, uh,
Now we'll never know. So there it is.
yeah, because we
Now
ain't
let's
even
talk about them killing people off and just bringing them back like it don't mean shit.
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
Rhysand, I understand you bringing him back. I knew you were going to bring him back. That's your mate. You still got like 5 more books. Who else are you going to be with? Amryn, you should have left dead.
Yes. Yes.
You should have left
Somebody
her dead. Because if you're going to bring back Amryn, then you need to find a way to bring back the daddy and anybody else in the book on your side that died. You need to bring them back because it don't make no damn sense that you're talking about, I found her in the rift. How did you not find the daddy in the rift?
Exactly. The man
Or
who
is it
raised
because they're supernatural beings?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I feel like they said that the reason why they could bring Farah back the first time was because she was a human. Right. And that's why they couldn't. Well, that's why somebody said that they couldn't do resand, even though they ended up doing resand. So it's like they don't, the writer doesn't stay true to her own logic in her own books. What are we doing? It's just, it's really aggravating. And there was one spot in the book before the war, and they were thinking about kind of like sacrificing the humans or like not doing much to save the humans. And so Freya was like, oh, well, what if, someone didn't think that about me? We have to save the humans. And her fucking master plan was to widow, basically transport one by one every human. What kind of stupid ass plan is this? We about to be here all goddamn night trying to get we about to be here. How many millions of humans are there? And you want these Fae to exact all of them here one by one? Man, let's be realistic. It makes no sense, Farah. But she's Miss I know it all. Everything always aligns. Get the hell. I don't know. Just
Farah does what she wants.
yes.
And everybody else can burn with them. And she showed that in the rescue mission for Elaine. And like I said, call me insensitive again, but in times of war, people die. And you can save who you can, but people die. You do not risk the mission to just save every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So when they went to rescue the extra girl, how she wouldn't, she's like, we can't leave her. Which I'm like, on one hand, if that was me, I'm like, oh my God, please save me.
Yeah, exactly.
But then on the other hand, I'm like, this is a very dangerous situation, and we are very close to death ourselves. If you don't go in there and get Elaine and leave like you were supposed to, this is war.
Yeah, if
you want to show mercy, then you should have killed her before you left. And that's, so I'm like, all right, maybe I'm just being a little too cold-hearted right now. It's just a matter of the headspace that you're in when you're reading the book. But I'm like, this is wartime. You have a mission, and you almost cost us the mission. You got Azrael all chopped up because he had to struggle to carry both of these women. You can't even fly, and you over here making demands.
It's just not. I don't know. And then another thing that pissed me off. Why the hell Cassian can't get his shit together? Ain't he supposed to be the best warrior? This man down every battle, down bad.
Cassian can't win every war. He showed off one time. You saw what he did with the general with the spear. He can't hold it down the whole time.
after every fight, this man is like, in ICU. It's
He's fighting
always
for his, because he killing half the army. He's fighting for his life out here. And the way they were teething, you know what? The only thing that was really keeping me really hooked was him and Nesta. And I was like,
okay.
come on, you can give me that. And they
Okay.
did.
Okay.
We're getting a little touch on the back. We're getting a
Uh-huh.
little, we're staring at each other.
Uh-huh.
Give
Yeah.
me something, because I'm not reading the next book. You get me? Give me something
Well,
in this one. Give me a kiss. No.
Let's give Nesta's voice actor her flowers yet again, because at the end of the last book, she did what needed to be done. And in this book, when she was calling out Cassius' name, right?
That was so good.
That actress,
was
yes.
good. That and Rhysand's speech before they went out. That got me too.
Yeah,
That was good. How he went to each person and was like, if I didn't meet you, I wouldn't have had this. And that was really good. Favorite, what the fuck did you contribute to that? Nothing. Nothing. Raggedy. Oh, I brought the such and such, this monster. Boo. And that monster.
Boo.
You got the Sariel killed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was kind of sad. I felt kind of bad about that one.
I did too.
I felt
you got him killed.
Yeah.
You couldn't even save him.
But you can save, you save who you want to save. Exactly. Oh, skank ass. Skank ass.
Rhysand in the same exact predicament, but you can't save the Sariel.
The true villain is Farah. I'm telling you. So those are my thoughts about the book. I am overjoyed that we have decided not to continue the journey through the series. But again,
a very, very good run.
Yes, we definitely tried our best. And it's a thing though. People love this series, people love this book. And it could be the case that they started off reading it very young and it grown with them through the years. So that could be the case. But for me and my grown ass, no.
Yeah, starting it fresh. If you're more of I'd like to say I'm a little more cynical in my thinking. So maybe not for the cynicals out there.
Okay, I agree. Because I too.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
We'll let you know what we're doing, next. And, leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought of the book. And if you're continuing the series or not. But that is it for us. And I'm trying to find our little outro.
We kind of, wait, hold on. Before we start, we slayed the hell out of this book. Let's at least say one good thing.
You first.
I will say that the action in this book was very well written. It was very suspenseful, and it kept me engaged. Like when I was listening to it, I didn't want to turn it off.
Okay.
But leave some people dead in the future. Okay.
Got it.
Cool.
Got it. This actually, there's something I wanted to ask you before we end the show. Now, in this world, these are fairies. This is fae, right? But in this world, we have these creatures or these characters with bat wings, feathers. Some can fly, some cannot. Would you consider these fae, or are they like some other type of creature? Because for me,
like lesser fae.
Lesser fae?
I think the mistake in saying fae is that we automatically picture fairy.
Yeah.
And what do fairies look like? They all look the same. But I think fae is more of just a magical creature.
Okay.
Right? I don't think it's as cookie cutter as what we imagine a fairy is. I think fae is very different. So they're like lesser fae, the ones that look more like nature-like or monstrous or anything like that. And then you have the higher fae. They're supposed to be all beautiful and all of that. So I think they're just all under one large umbrella.
Even with the higher fae, though, because we have Rhysand, right? He's high fae, right? And he has bat wings, right? And we have this other court, I forget where they're from, but they have, they look like angels. So it's like, what's the definition of the fae here? And then some are like those spritey, bark skin tree bark skin.
We're not going to get on now. We're not starting with that again. We're going to let that die. I think it's just one large umbrella.
Okay, okay. Well, my positive thing about the book, um, I did like. I feel like this writer's strengths lie in the third chapter, in the third part, the final act, right? Because usually the ends of these books are always more interesting than the first two parts.
Okay.
So yeah, she did a good job of bringing some interesting events in the final of the book. Final couple chapters.
There we go.
And that is that. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.